I have my friend Bree here, a Harry Potter holic, and I have brought her on to help me do the review for Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Bree was super excited about the movie and went and saw it on pre-opening night, and I took my sweet time to see it. So, basically this is a Harry Potter superfan and a an ex-Harry Potter superfan reviewing this movie. And
an ex-Harry Potter superfan.
I used to be.
But you're still like a fan. That makes it sound like you don't like it anymore. But you can't say that. Okay, let me have it.
So I found Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them an enjoyable film. It has some issues, mainly with characters, including a main character who I didn't care for really at all, and a narrative focus at the end that really made no sense to me.
This is gonna hurt me, this whole thing.
Well, Eddie Redmayne, he's a very capable actor, except he just seems to have this face. Like, the only time that he shows emotion is when he's giving up his stick friend to evil house elf Ron Perlman, or goblin Ron Perlman. I guess what made this movie different in terms of the Harry Potter ones is Harry Potter we could relate with because he had more than one face and had this emotionality to him that we could, kind of go along with. Eddie Redmayne's, like, this movie has an interesting aspect, but it's not what's Newt Scamander, what he is, it's what's happening around him.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I find that he is a shy guy, though, and I think this movie is like a first step into the type of person he is. So I found that they weren't totally ready to just give his personality away. So in a sense, his facial expressions are very like hidden because he's not as expressive as he's ready to be, because I find he was more expressive when it came to like things he was speaking about. Then he lit right up and there was more.
Yeah, there was a few of those moments, but I don't know, we were able to figure out about Harry Potter in the first movie. Mind you, we did have an extra 35 minutes. Like, this was actually shorter. This is one of the shortest Harry Potter movies of all of them.
Did you like that it was shorter, or did you find...
Well, admittedly, there was a few things that I kind of wish had been a little bit more explained, or if not, even not talked about, really. Mainly the villain, Gringwald? Yeah, what the fudge? Like, the whole fact that he's introduced in the first minute through jumping from different news clippings, that was pointless. Mainly because, one, that's a lot of information to take in at once, and two,
yes,
if we really wanted a villain, we wouldn't have him be introduced through these news clippings. We could have had him be introduced via the exact same way Voldemort was introduced by being word of mouth from different characters. Mm-hmm. And in the end, I will admit, Colin Farrell is probably my favorite character in terms of motivations, because the whole time you're kind of wondering, is he bad? Is he good? What are his motivations? Yeah. Every time he meets with little and he's just
I was really curious to see where that was going, that whole storyline. I was like, where's that? Are you cool with spoilers on this? I guess so, because it's a review.
A little bit, yeah.
Well, like, with where they were going with it, I tried to predict it, and I was wrong. Because I thought it was the little girl.
Well, see, that's the thing. At first I thought that was actually. That's something I did like, is that movie did do a
They
misdirect.
wanted us to think that for sure.
No.
But I was like,
Yeah. No, there were some narrative choices that I thought were really cool. Colin Farrell's entire sort of arc. Ezra Miller, the whole quest for the super child or whatever garbage that was.
Super child.
And the sort of establishment between Newt and the short little chubby guy, who I'll actually say I was most impressed with him. Jacob. I was most impressed with that actor, because that guy
was wonderful.
He went from Balls of Fury back in 2005, if I'm correct, Balls of Frickin' Fury with Christopher Walken, to this. So good on you, sir. I think you deserve you proved yourself. His story between him and his, what's her name's sister, that was the best character relationship of the entire
It
movie.
was adorable.
Yeah. And then when we're supposed to care about Newt's and the other woman's relationship, it's like, no, I'm
They're
so,
shy.
I
It's
don't-
unraveling.
but
That's how I feel.
The thing is, I don't like I guess with that aspect is we already have a relationship that we already are really invested in and believe in.
Yeah.
When you see Newt in this other one, you're just like, I don't care. This relationship sucks in my opinion. I really want to go back to the other one.
I mean, you know they're gonna make more movies, right?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, really? With Newt Scamander?
This whole conversation, I'm like, what?
Well, no,
How could you?
I know there are apparently 5 more or something like that.
I don't know, like the numbers. I'm like, I was a little bit hesitant about this movie. I went in with no expectations, because if I went in with expectations as a fan of how many years,
You could have been let down.
I could have been so unbelievably let down. But at the same time, I went in just happy to see the world again. And then if I fell in love with the characters, great. But the fact that I saw the world again was like what really means the most to me with Harry Potter and the whimsy and detail. So like,
I'll admit that part was cool. The idea of seeing it in an American setting in the 20s setting,
mages.
Yeah, the no mages. That I
was
like that.
interesting.
The one thing I will admit that I thought was kind of silly though is the amount of instant teleportation in that movie has rendered brooms totally useless throughout the rest of the series.
Well, I mean,
No one's gonna use a broom.
well,
Why would you use a broom when you can just
sports.
away?
Sports. Do they really use brooms that much in Harry Potter other than sports? Like,
Well,
really that much?
I don't know. I always thought that was something that I liked. How I guess all these characters are adults, so we're
Yeah.
seeing the adult side. I thought
Yeah,
it was.
because they don't have any restrictions or anything.
Well, yeah.
so.
Well, I thought it was interesting how Colin Farrell was like doing Jedi mind tricks with his hand.
For me, I gave the movie the benefit of the doubt for a lot of situations because there's just so much to that world. And even if they didn't describe things as in-depth as you would want them to, I was like, okay, now I want to know more. Now I want to watch more. Now I want to read more. So the fact that they left a lot of stuff open-ended.
I'll admit, like, if this had been a novel, I was interested because there's a lot of things that I was sitting there going, I bet she has a crap ton of backstory on that.
Yeah.
I bet she has a crap ton of backstory on this. Like, the whole thing that they're after is unshakable, unforgivable. What was it called? The black force object thing.
Oh my god, I don't remember the
Evil
name.
Dark.
I'm looking like the worst fan this whole time. I'm like,
It's just
the thing.
the evil black ball thing. I thought that was kind of interesting, like from a
They could
visual
do
standpoint.
so much with that too, because
Yeah.
of this story is about Egypt and like, do you know
What it is.
Newt Scamander's like deal? Like, do you know why he's so important?
Well, I know that. Well, one, he was he's one of the first books that Harry gets in the first book. I remember that his book, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, is something that he has to get.
Mm-hmm.
It's also they made a mention of his brother, the war hero. I was like, no, not him, the younger brother.
Like, benefit of the doubt. Where are they gonna go? Like, is he in that? Are they gonna do? You know, when you got mad, or not mad, you were like, what's going on with the newspapers? Maybe they're going to do like a prequel
Maybe.
in the next movie.
Well, something I will admit that I did like about this movie the most out of everything is that it stands on its own. It's not a movie that's setting up a franchise.
Yeah.
Like so many other films are trying to do. Like they're trying to lay the groundwork for all these future
And it's like
films.
they're all fillers.
Yeah, and this one didn't. This one is
Yeah.
a movie that stands on its own. Sure,
Yeah.
there are a few things they're like, oh, they're like hinting at for other ones, but in
You can just
itself,
pick it up.
exactly.
Yeah. I brought my mom with me, actually.
Oh yeah.
I brought my mom with me, and she's seen Harry Potter movies off and on because she's had to deal with them for my existence.
Yeah.
But she was never a huge fan, but I brought her with me and she loved it just for the whimsy of it, for the same reason I love it, and she just understood it all and it was great. And then I just have to explain everything, like, oh, that helmet looks like the old Quidditch helmet in Quidditch Through the Ages.
Oh man. Oh, when he puts on the armor.
Yeah, I was
says,
like, that looks exactly like that helmet in the...
oh my god.
Because there was two
no.
books that came out. There was
Yeah,
Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, the Quidditch one.
I have the Quidditch one, yeah.
And I love the Quidditch one. I loved that one. And same with, I love the little details in the book of, like, Harry and Ron writing notes to themselves about it. But it's just important.
Yeah, I guess.
It's important. I guess.
It's an enjoyable film. I would say that from a standpoint, it stands on its own. There are some narrative issues. There are some interesting complexes that could have gone a little further, but mainly there was also some weird editing things. Like people would all of a sudden just forward, or well, here's my thing.
I didn't notice that.
Well, here's the
Usually
thing. How
I'm the
did
first.
he get the suitcases back the first time when they're in the bank? You never actually saw them switch the cases back. And then when they appear again with the cases switched again.
Don't do this.
Yeah, no,
He's doing this.
Then there's another part where Colin
This is my
Farrell's
job.
when Colin Farrell's above Newt, he's just like. I was like, oh, this looks like Return of the Jedi, except done with wizards, because Newt's on the ground going, electrocuted and everything. So I enjoyed Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. There are some issues with it for me, but as a narrative film, it's solid, and I think it's enjoyable for people who are both fans of the universe and fans of not. So I'll give Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them a 5 out of 7. What would you give it out of my silly rating?
It's hard to say. Honestly, like me personally, I think like being a huge fan, it's like, this sounds stupid, but like my review is a very personal thing because what people want, this sounds so stupid, but what some fans want out of the movie, or what all fans want out of the movie, and what I wanted out of the movie, I'd give it like a 6 out of 7 because everything I wanted, I had received watching it.
That's true.
For my personal whimsy and
there's
nostalgia.
a few moments that I kind of imagined, like if I had been there on opening day, I probably would have, like, I've imagined like laughing along with the crowd for certain aspects.
I cried.
Like what's it? Laughing, like laughing water.
Oh, giggle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that part was cute.
That was so cute, and like just there was a lot of fans. There was a lot of big fans that were there, and it was.
I
just a
really do
positive
hope
time.
that Jack comes back. Jack, like, he's my favorite person of the entire film.
Most of the time, they do for big franchises like this because it's such a. If you want to get technical, like it's like a ticket.
Well, I'm interested because mainly him and the sister who looks like Rachel Wise if she was blonde. I don't know. I really like their characters. I think they were the two best people of the entire film.
See, that's the thing. People went into the movie like this
Thinking
isn't
that
Harry
Newt's
Potter. What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
And like, it's really, to me, it's really exciting that we have new characters to fall in love with.
Admittedly.
In that story, or in that world, I guess.
True. And then the next one, there's going to be like, well, there already was hashtag name drops with Dumbledore. So
there was name drops with Dumbledore in this one, though.
well, that's what I mean. He's going to be in the second one,
Eventually. We'll
Yeah.
see.
Hopefully he doesn't
Don't
talk
get
to
your hopes up, guys.
Hopefully he
Just,
doesn't
like-
talk to people calmly. At least.
Yeah. I mean, but there's no book to compare it to for this, but J.K. Rowling is doing the screenplays for all of them, and that's what I'm stoked
Which is
for.
just like,
It's so important, though. Like, if some random did it, I'd be like,
well, yeah, no, but the fact that she's selling the screenplay on the side is just,
I don't blame her.
oh, she's already rich as shit.
But, like, that's fine with me. She deserves it. She's a cool lady. Watch her life story. It's great.
Alright, guys. Well, thanks, Bree, for helping me review this movie. This was fun. Maybe we'll do it for the next one.
Thanks for watching me disagree with Jeremy and be surprised by his opinion. Like,
Alright. Alright, guys. I'll see you later.